Yeah. Yeah, well, I got shot in the face. Hello, I'm alone in Finland. This is EVE Online, and somebody had actually asked me about something, and they had mentioned this, the partnership program, and when we were talking about it, I sort of said, yeah, I've actually applied to this, by the way, but I doubt I'd get it. I just applied for shits and giggles. But one of the things that they say is that you can be negative and you can stuff like that, but I don't think my type of content would be something that would mesh well with this. It'd be really nice to get it, but I doubt it. And that was before the announcement today. So, it's Tuesday the 23rd of April, and at downtime there was a little video sort of premiered, 2-minute video just showing the new shiny stuff that had been teased in Opvin or whatever system it was. And it looked like some stations and some ships and stuff like this, and this came out afterwards. And essentially what it is more love for nullsec. And it's fantastic love for nullsec. So if you're a nullsec player, things are about to get good, and if you're in sort of control or industry of that, your fantastically advantaged income that comes from nullsec is now just gonna blow through the roof. So there are stations for planetary control. You've got PI, basically looks like it's getting a lot easier. There's some ship skins and stuff like this. There's a few more ships coming in, and as you can see here, they say, with the upcoming launch of Equinox, it's a comprehensive suite of solutions that promises to invigorate the very fabric of null security space. So there is going to be more sort of content, but for me, the thing that is sort of looking is that you've got the ability to harvest from planets. You've got new resources and new encounters. You've got a new passive income stream, as if you weren't making enough money in nullsec before. Now you can do it passively, and you only have to occasionally defend things as opposed to going out and mining. So you take away a lot of the risk. And for those of you that don't sort of know this part of the industry in EVE, the moon minerals are a niche point. Moon mining is one of the more expensive bits, and if you're wondering why battleships and things like that are more expensive, it's because that particular niche, the reactions in the moon minerals that they require, is the highest sort of content. So for people in null, that now essentially is a license to print money. Then you've got some changes to sovereignty, which it is what it is. New anomalies, that's always nice. And new ships, which, to be honest, this is what I've been asking for a long time. I like the sort of industrials and flying around. I've been asking for faction industrials for quite some time. And there's one ship in EVE that I saw once when I was playing the game. Very early on, I think it was 2005, 2006. I saw one of the Jovian, and I know the Jovian ships aren't in the game anymore, but I saw one of the Jovian haulers, and I always wanted that. And with all of the Triglavian stuff, I thought that they would start throwing out some of the Jovian ships as something we could control and play, because for the older players that have been going a long time, that was a cool part of the lore. But we still haven't had those. But we get some more stuff, so PI is getting a boost, essentially. So if you're doing planetary interactions, you're getting a huge boost if you're in nullsec. But because of how easy and how much extra stuff there is in nullsec, it essentially seems to wipe out high and low sec's ability to do this. I do PI in high and low sec in one nullsec place. But I don't have control in the nullsec place. It's just somewhere I dip into. And this... So yeah, so this is more for the big alliances and less for the majority of the players in the game. If you don't know that, if you actually look at a map of where things happen, the majority of players are in high sec. So the care bars are the biggest sort of group in the game, and nobody gives a shit. and you get low sec, you get null sec, and everything comes to the alliances. And the one thing that came out, because I've had this sort of discussion on the forums before, the one thing that came out that was fantastic a while back was when the Abyssal stuff first came out. They were talking about how they had noticed, and they went and said, most people that log on for 15 minutes. So they're only in the character for 15 minutes to half an hour, and they would like to provide an activity that is sort of short and rewarding, and that's where the whole Abyssal thing came from. And then they took that and they multiplied that. Even though that they have the statistics, they know that the majority of people that play are sort of less aligned and sort of play more independently. The alliances are big and vocal groups, and they have people on the CSM because they all vote together. But the solos and the small corps are the ones that are doing, like, the ones that make up the most player bases in EVE. And if you want to have a look through some of the comments that I've got, or just run through the Reddit, you'll see people talking about this. They get shouted down every time, as we always do. But that's part of the problem, is they get ignored. And for instance, in 2016, when they brought in the alpha stuff and the ganking exploded, people were talking about how this was a big issue. And when you look at the player decline that happened over the next 5-6 years until they fixed that alpha ganking problem, then that was a significant thing, and player numbers dropped through the floor over quite a time. Now, I don't actually think that revenue dropped over that time, because the other players were putting more into it, because we were getting more of that. If you put money in, your real world money in, you can get something out. And I don't disagree with that in general, because it keeps the game that I love going. But at the same time, it's kind of, when you're not getting anything back that's sort of geared towards the smaller players, it's just annoying. And the funny thing is, and I think this is why this particularly annoys me, is because some of this is very close to some stuff that I had asked for on the forums and in feedback and suggestions and stuff like this. I had asked for things similar to this, and people had sort of agreed, and we had talked it through. So there was sort of more things for structure, more things for industrial, and a lot of people were like, yeah, this is a good idea. And then to sort of have that, but then shift the entire thing to null, that's disappointing. And I was looking at the comments the second that people realised in the comments of the live YouTube stream that this was that. You should have seen the amount of just... You can go back and have a run through the live comments. People were not chuffed. So you've got some stuff for painting your ships, which is always nice. The whole fleet thing is always nice. Vanguard looks very interesting. I have to say, I'm quite liking the Vanguard. It's still in sort of early levels and stuff like that, but I enjoyed the last playthrough, and I'm going to give it a shot this week as well. So you got a lot more of that, but essentially that's what you've got. You've got a freighter, a deep space transport, another cloaky hauler, but more geared towards PI, and then this little entry level reagents hauler, which I'm curious about because we've already got one. I can't remember the name of it, but one of the Galante haulers is similar to this, and then sort of new anomalies, but everything else is all nullsec. So for me, I'm not a big alliance player, and that's because of the situation I'm in. I can't devote the amount of time that the alliances require. I don't particularly like giving out all my security details and stuff like that, just because I don't like having that out there. But I also don't have the time to contribute, because I was a member of Fatal Ascension and CFC for ages and stuff like that, and it was fun while I was doing it, but I just don't have the time. Neither do a lot of us. But yeah. So that's the new Equinox update, and some interesting stuff. If you're in nullsec, then might be an advantage for you. Will be an advantage for you, a massive one. You got a license to print money here. Also, if you are not in nullsec and you're looking to get into that, Pandemic Horde, I have been told, is particularly easy to get into in general. It will come with a bit of time requirements and stuff like that, but Marquee Dragon was talking about it on his streams and stuff like that. They basically let in all sorts of people. So if you want to do that, I would say that the Horde is the way to go. I've never flown with them myself. I can't sort of say from personal experience, and I've been out of Big Alliance stuff for quite some time because I don't have the time to commit. But yeah, so that's what's going on at the moment. I am going to have a poke about because I don't know exactly when this stuff's going. 11th of June. So we'll see what's going on. Oh, and also we have here the shiny monies. So a suit and tie if you want to get some stuff to get in there. Sort of themed around the stuff, but in general, it's not great. It's not great. As per usual, and please, if you disagree with me, if you agree with me, no matter what, please put your comments down below because I really want to know what people think about this. Don't be attacking other people for their views. And if you want discourse and stuff like that, make sure it's civil, make sure it's calm and regulated, but please put your opinions down below, especially if they differ to what mine is, because the best way to clarify your own opinion is to have somebody disagree with you so you can work through your thoughts. But at the moment, I don't think this is great. So, please comments and stuff like that. Thanks for watching. I know it's not been the normal one. I shall resume after all of the... I might do a video on Vanguard, we'll see. But I'll resume all the other stuff. I'm sort of jumping through a few different things at the moment in EVE. And there's been an awful lot of freighter nonsense. I love flying freighters. I don't know why, they're just really funny to me. But more recently I've had a few things that I've needed to go through, and I had the chance to get hold of one of these, so I had to train it up because I didn't actually have skills for for the Minmatar freighters, even though my character's Minmatar. So I had to do a few things, and at the moment it's been some weird trading, and I can't really make any videos of it because there isn't much going on. It's trading, building, rinse and repeat. I've kind of done videos on it before and I just don't think it's that interesting, although it's something that I kind of like doing. So for me it's just like podcast or audiobook or Legends of Advantris on, listen to that and then plod along doing different things and hope that you don't get popped, because these are just so vulnerable. So vulnerable. And I got some ships to move about for faction warfare. So, thanks for watching. Comments and stuff below. Likes, dislikes, all of that jazz. It's always nice to know what people think and to have feedback, positive or negative. Keep it all nice, and I'll speak to you next time. Bye!